Got a chance to look at 4 different parts kits here. We've got a Mahdi kit from Egypt, a Bulgarian kit that's a 74 with polymer furniture, another Bulgarian kit that's a 74 with wood furniture, and then a Yugo in 762x39 with some of the characteristics of the Yugo kits. So since we have all 4 of them here to compare and contrast, let's take the next thing we're going to encounter is rear sight. So we've got the Yugo rear sight, we've got a complete Bulgarian rear sight, and then we've got the Egyptian rear sight. So pretty much similar. This one's stripped down because it's a virgin kit. Very few pieces, if any, are assembled. These come off a working gun, so they've just been pulled from the barrels and stuff. And you can see they're very similar. Some differences in the milling process, some differences into how crude it is. I don't know if this thing's filming, I'm not taking great video. But some differences in the process and in the finishes. And then, I guess technically, some finishes in the markings because of where they were going to go. We can see the raw metal here with the park and then paint here. This was a gun, but just a different made gun, different tolerances, different use probably. So let's take that and put it back, and then let's check the 2 Bulgarians next to each other. So the one with the plastic and the one with the wood. So I'm guessing earlier and later. Very similar, but there are some differences in the sight there. Pretty much similar everywhere else. But as a collector or whatever, you might find some differences by fiddling and again checking out the, I don't know if it's just the finish or if it's the amount of wear on those rear sights. So coming back from the rear sight, we've got lots of different ways we can approach this, but I guess we're going to go to the Trunnions. So a couple of these are guns that have been chopped down, and then we've got one that's completely never been put together before. So let's start off with that. The Trunnion is what holds the barrel. So I'm going to keep using this barrel as an example. This is the wrong barrel, so it fits in too sloppily. But it would come in here and hold the barrel. That's why it's a Trunnion. This is what the receiver's connected to. This is the barrel. So on this one, the Trunnion was already in a gun, and it's probably a lot closer fit. This thing's all rusty, so it isn't just going to slide right in this time. But you get the idea. This holds it. It holds the barrel. On this one, it's exactly the same concept as the Bulgarian, but somebody peeled away the receiver, and this is what it looks like under the receiver when you've ground the rivets heads off and you've left the stumps of the rivets sitting here. So now we've got a Bulgarian and an Egyptian. Most of the difference is in the crudeness of the cuts and the finish, so how they left it. And then this one's been parked and painted and seen some use, while this one has been parked and blued, maybe? Never used, or at least used very little. We can see some interesting things here with the scrunching of the rivet on the inside here versus on this one, and the amount of peening. Really interesting. So as a builder, this would be interesting to compare, and as a collector and as a historian, seeing things like the differences in the metals and the thicknesses and the riveting work and stuff like that is all pretty interesting to have these kits compared next to each other. Again, this one is just a little bit different because it's never been attached. It's got its bullet ramp here, and that's it. No engravings or nothing, so pretty interesting. Next would be let's do the springs. They're kind of one of those things people don't pay too much attention to. So AK-74, AK-47, not a bunch of difference. In fact, you could probably get mixed up and put them back in the wrong place. A little difference down here for whatever reason in the shape of the bottom. Now, is that a machining process? Is that to do something? Is that to interface with something? I guess we could look at the rear trunnion of this. And we can see that the rear trunnion has a ridge in it, and this thing has a little bevel, so it's designed to potentially fit right there in place. So that's kind of neat. It's got a little notch there. There's a channel, and it's going to fit into that channel. If we take a look at the springs on this plastic, a more modern Bulgarian, it's going to come back and just interface, period. No way to interface or lock at all. This one was a gun taken apart, but again, very little use, and one of the ways you can tell use is how many times the dust cover's been taken off. I'd be surprised if this dust cover was put on and then taken off for disassembly. Like, it doesn't even seem like it's been used very much at all. But it is a gun, it isn't a virgin parts kit. Taking a look at this older Bulgarian that had the different kind of notch. I'm guessing for a machining process, because it doesn't seem like that does anything, again, to interface here. And then last, just in case there's something different on these old ones with the crutch folder. Nope. Basically made identically to the old Bulgarians. Interface the same way with the paint and everything. Just a little bit of slop. This one with the paint and everything. Let Trunnion go. Just no slop at all. It just fits right in there. It doesn't lock in like the Yugo, but just no slop at all. The Yugo fits right in. Tons of slop. Is that enough slop for paint? Paint tolerance here and here might make it fit together like a Bulgarian. But people think these things are super sloppy, so maybe we're not supposed to think about tolerances. And I might be missing a couple of other things, but those are getting beyond the realm of parts kits and beyond the realm of the differences and similarities between these parts kits. So I hope you've enjoyed this tour. These parts kits are going to auction, so I had to do this one before they left us. But hopefully they'll pay a bunch of bills off and we'll get back on the road and experience more of our gun community out there. So if you have any questions, let us know. We did take quite a few pictures of these, and we can potentially answer some questions through those pictures or other examples out there. We do appreciate your time, and as always, thank you for watching.
GearWebsites.com is your source for firearms-based playing cards and books. We also have mugs, shirts, and posters with designs that we've made live. Of course, we have patches. Every Friday is Free Patch Friday. We appreciate your support. Thank you for shopping at GearWebsites.com. Thank you for supporting our projects. If you'd like to buy us a cup of coffee, check out our Patreon channel.
The guys and gals at GunWebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thank you for watching GunWebsites.com.